Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very interesting and unfolding story coming out of Abuja today. In what can only be described as courtroom drama of the highest order, a federal high court session erupted into tension between the lawyers representing Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government counsel. The headline says it all. Drama in Abuja. Court judge walks out after heated clash between Kanu's lawyers and FG counsel. And today, we are breaking it all down for you. Now, for those following closely, Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, or IPOB, a group that has been at the center of national conversations for years. His legal journey has been very complicated. He has been facing serious charges, and his trial has been anything but smooth. In recent hearings,
Kanu's lawyers have raised concerns about how the proceedings are being conducted, often saying that the federal government's legal team is more interested in showmanship than justice. What we saw in court this time is a very sharp clash. Kanu's lawyers were questioning the legitimacy of evidence submitted by the federal government. They argued that certain video recordings and statements were obtained without following proper legal procedure and that these could make the evidence invalid. On the other side, the federal government's counsel insisted that they are fully within their rights to present the evidence and that the process is fair. This disagreement grew heated very quickly, leading to what the headlines are calling a walkout by the judge. Now let's pause here. When a judge walks out, it's a serious signal.
whether it is a literal walkout or a procedural adjournment in response to the tension, it reflects how intense the courtroom atmosphere became. And this is not surprising, because Kanu's trial has always been in the public eye. Every move, every objection, every piece of evidence is being watched by thousands of people, not just in Nigeria, but around the world. This tension also speaks to the bigger picture. Kanu's lawyers have been very vocal in criticizing the federal government's approach, saying that the trial sometimes feels more like a theater than a true judicial process. They have highlighted issues such as restricted access to the courtroom, concerns over the legality of the charges, and the way evidence is being handled. These are serious matters because the rights of the accused, the integrity of the process,
and the credibility of the judiciary are all on the line. And this is why it is so important to follow this story closely, because it is about more than just one individual. It is about the rule of law in Nigeria. It is about whether the courts can operate independently and fairly, even in cases that are politically charged. It is about ensuring that everyone, no matter how controversial, has a fair opportunity to defend themselves. I want to remind you all to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you can stay updated as we follow this story. You do not want to miss the next developments. Now, back to the story. The tension in court also highlights a larger issue: the balance between public interest and legal procedures. Many people are emotionally invested in this case. Social media is alive with commentary, opinions, and debates. Some argue that Kanu should face justice for the charges against him. Others insist that his rights must be protected and that the trial should be conducted transparently and fairly. Both sides have valid points, and this makes the courtroom atmosphere even more charged. The walkout, as dramatic as it sounds, also raises questions about how judges manage high-stakes cases. When lawyers clash intensely and proceedings threaten to get out of control, judges have to make quick decisions to maintain order and uphold the law. Sometimes this might mean pausing proceedings, temporarily leaving the courtroom, or taking time to consider the next steps. While it makes for dramatic headlines, it is also part of ensuring that justice is done properly. Now, thinking about what this could mean going forward, there are a few key points to keep in mind. First, the evidence that the federal government presented may face more scrutiny. If courts find that certain pieces of evidence were not collected or handled properly, it could significantly affect the case. Second, this tension and public interest mean that the judiciary is under a lot of pressure. Decisions made here could set important precedents for how politically sensitive cases are handled in Nigeria. It is also important to remember that this trial has been ongoing for a long time, with multiple adjournments and delays. Every new hearing is an opportunity to see how the judiciary navigates these challenges, and the reactions from the lawyers provide insight into how each side views the process. I want to ask you all again, if you are following this story, go ahead and hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get updates every time there is new information on this case. You'll want to stay informed because this story is far from over. Now let's consider the human side of this case. Beyond politics and law, there are real people whose lives are affected. Kanu himself, his lawyers, his family, and even members of IPOB are watching closely. Courtroom tension can be stressful and emotionally draining. Lawyers must balance their professional obligations with personal beliefs, while judges have to remain impartial and fair despite public pressure. This human element is often overlooked, but is essential to understanding why court proceedings can become so heated. Another important aspect is public perception.
When people see headlines about judges walking out or lawyers clashing, it can influence how they view the legal system. Some may feel that the system is unfair, while others may see it as a sign that justice is being carefully weighed. This is why clear and transparent communication from the courts is crucial. It helps build trust and keeps the public informed without inflaming tensions unnecessarily. We should also think about the broader implications for Nigeria. High-profile cases like these often spark national conversations about justice, security, and governance. They highlight the importance of a strong legal system that can handle sensitive cases without bias. They remind us that maintaining fairness, transparency, and respect for the rule of law is critical for national stability. Once again,
I want to remind you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with friends who want to understand what is happening in Abuja. We are covering this story in real time as it develops, so staying connected is essential. This courtroom drama is also a reminder that even in the most tense and controversial situations, the legal system must function. Lawyers, judges, and all parties involved are under intense scrutiny, and every move is analyzed. The stakes are high, and the decisions made in court today could influence not just Kanu's future, but also broader perceptions of justice in Nigeria. The story is still developing. As new hearings take place, we will see whether tensions continue or whether the court manages to bring order and focus back to the legal process. Every development, every argument, and every decision will be important for understanding how this case unfolds. So far, the key takeaway is that this is a highly charged, high-stakes case that requires careful attention. Both sides are passionate, both sides are determined, and the courtroom is the arena where these battles are being fought. It is a reminder to all of us that justice is not always easy, and fairness must be actively defended. Remember, if you want to follow every update on this story, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure your notification bell is turned on. You will not want to miss any details as they emerge.